Yeah. TikTok, it's all TVC Entertainment, at TVC Entertainment. All right. Now, let's kick up what we have for this morning.
Mondays, always about motivation, but let's talk about Adesol Metal Furniture. Now, they are manufacturers of metal-framed furniture in Nigeria, and they serve many different purposes, commercial, household, whatever you're thinking of. We're going to be speaking with the owner, that's Harrison Solomon Adewale, on SME.
I want to shout, but I would have drunk Titi's coffee, but it's too dark for me because the EPL is over. Mary is a little bit blue.
Whatever.
Olamide is also bluer. Well. It all went down yesterday as the EPL went. I don't want to be talking about that. I would do this with Mary.
Ah, you want to finish.
And of course, what would Wake Up Nigeria be without a performance? Olajide is going to be right here to serenade us very, very soon.
And then Gabriel GB Balogun is a speaker, workshop facilitator, and L&D leader known for cultivating high-performing team. He coaches individuals, consultants for companies and organizations. Speaks regularly on subjects that empower human capital and drive personal development. We'll be talking today about building authentic connections.
Yeah. So that's a deep term, though. Authentic connections.
Yeah.
Authentic. There's this whole networking phase a lot of us went through, I think 5-6 years ago, where every coach and speaker was saying, make sure you network, make sure you network. But then again, you network, you hand out boxes of complimentary cards, and then there's no follow-up. So have you actually created an authentic connection with someone? And how do you do it?
You know something, eh? This thing of business cards.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you brought it up because it's not actually outdated like most people think. Most people believe that, oh, you can take my number or scan my my details and all. However, something happened recently. There's somebody whose number I've always had. And then I searched through my phone, and for some weird reason,
You couldn't
I don't know whether my email removed some, I don't know whether you've been experiencing that, where some numbers you need are suddenly missing. And I couldn't find it, but guess what? I went to my purse and started sifting through, and I found the person's card. And that is how I connected
with the person. Sure, wonderful, great one.
I don't take cards for granted anymore. If I had
It's so funny.
QR code, that's a lot.
So you know the funny thing, it's so funny, exactly what she's saying now. I was at an event, I was at Ijebu-Ode, for the remembrance of Shubumi Balogun 1 year.
Okay, this weekend?
Passed away, yes.
Okay.
And at the table there were so many people I said hello to, but there was one particular person that said, he can't believe I didn't come with my card. And I'm like, this is 2024, card? Like, do we still do cards anymore? But then he made me realize that, you know, there are a lot of people in very important circles that still think it's professional for you to give a complimentary card.
The introduction of cards is very interesting. So when you go to pay a visit to someone, how to let them know who is outside is your card. So what you do is you give them your card, then they go to meet the person, say, oh, so-and-so person is around.
Here.
The person sees the card. That was actually what the card was for. Until we turned it to complimentary cards.
Yeah,
but then you cannot blame people. It is so expensive now.
Yeah, to print.
To print business cards.
Y'all are old women, you know that.
Wow, Mike, really? What is going on?
I'm just kidding, but yes.
I reserve my comments.
You can still use cards. Oh, yes, I do.
You do?
But, you know, like you said, the world is quite very digital now. And it's hard for us, who are older people. They said the older you are, the harder it is to change. It's not easy. There's one thing we should all learn to do is to learn to adapt to times.
Yeah.
Because we know how it was with our parents. And we told them things that way. I mean, today there are kids who are teenagers that don't know what a CD is.
Yes.
And I'm talking about is a DVD. They don't know what a DVD is.
Yeah.
You know, but I wanted to talk
an MP3 player.
I wanted to talk about my weekend, but we don't have time. I wanted to mention Tyson Fury versus Usyk.
Oh, there's time. There's time.
But we'll talk about that later.
Talk about it later. By the way, you look younger. Is it me?
Wow.
Mary.
It's called
the sun is shining.
It's called adaptation.
Wow. Treating you well.
Okay, let's check it. Oh dear me. Let's see what the weather's like.
For the news update on Wake Up Nigeria, I am Mary Bashua Alimi. We're monitoring security concerns, and we start off in Akwa Ibom State, where gunmen have kidnapped the traditional ruler of Mbo local government area, Ogbong Abang, at his palace. According to the police public relations officer in the state, ASP Timfon John, the Commissioner of Police, Wahid Ailara, and other service commanders have moved down to Mbo local council to ascertain the situation. You would recall that the Nigeria Medical Association in the state last week directed its members to withdraw their services following the kidnap of their colleague, Jan Isu. In Kaduna State, 2 bandits have been reportedly killed by a mobile police team deployed to Kuriga in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. The overseeing commissioner for internal security and home affairs, Samuel Arunwa, disclosed that the operation was in response to a distress call of an attack on farmers. He also explained that the police operatives recovered arms and ammunition from the bandits during the gun duel. To foreign news now, a helicopter in a convoy carrying the Iranian president has been involved in an accident. State media reports that President Ibrahim Raisi was on board a helicopter that experienced a hard landing yesterday. According to the Minister of Interior, rescuers are still trying to reach the site due to the difficult weather conditions. President Raisi was heading to the city of Tabriz in the northwest of Iran. Reports also say heavy fog is making the search difficult at the site where it is thought that the helicopter may have landed.
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge. Yeah, they claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a fuge.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to be called such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just.
Yeah.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great.
Good day, guys. Welcome to another episode of this workout session. And today, guys, we're going to be having a leg routine. All right. My name is Ogunoiki Ayomide Ebenezer, certified fitness trainer from iFitness. And guys, today, guess what? We're going to be having a leg workout. All right. So today's routine is going to be more focused on our lower body. That's to tell you we're going to be engaging our quads, our hamstrings, our calf muscles, and our glutes.
All right, so today we're going to be doing a body weight routine. That's to tell you that we're not using any weight. It's just going to be our body. So first workout we're going to do is a close to a wide stance squat. All right, so I just want you to have your legs this way. There's slight space in between. Now we're going to go in on your squat. Now I need you chest out, sitting like you have an imaginary chair right down. So you go down slowly, come up, extend legs out, wide squats now, down. And I want you to squeeze the glute, so you work out the glute. So let's go, guys. Down. That's 1. Good. 2. Good job, guys. Let's go. 3. Breathe through the routine. Let's go. 4. Almost there, guys. Good. And out. Great job, guys. So that's the first routine we just did. And you can feel you're engaging more of your lower body. All right, guys, next routine is gonna be a reverse lunges. All right, I want you to really pay attention to this. So you're gonna be taking this to your legs. First, let's back. So you wanna have this like a right angle triangle, not too far away from this, and a knee drive. Drop the leg, switch up to left, go, and a knee drive. Down, up, drop, down. Nice and easy, that's 2. Let's go, up, 3, let's go. You can add some swag to it. Good. 6, 9, almost there, and 10. Great job, my legs are fired up now, and you can feel that home. Great job, guys. So next up, so we're going to do a lateral lunge. So this is just going to be taking us right to our sides, and it goes like this. So we're going to have the leg stretched out, the other leg squatting. Good, so beautiful. 3, like I said, you can add some back to it.
Yeah.
Confetti. You learn everything.
So there's a lot that happened over the weekend. In terms of Mondays, it's quite a lot.
This
it's quite hard
weekend, plenty
to pick. Yeah, plenty happened. Plenty happened. I wish we had like 30 minutes. We'll go over from sports to entertainment to lifestyle, and then of course to brother love.
Wow.
Love.
You and
as it were.
Is love.
As it
brother love.
You see, I've always said that when somebody in open tries too hard to try to prove something, there's a problem. Yes, when somebody tries too hard, when you try too hard to show that you are happy, do you want something because you need it or because you want people to know that you have it? Do you want this happiness? Do you want this thing? Do you want this image? Because you personally, that image is you. Or that is the image you want people to see of you. That has been the case with Sean Combs, as it were. In fact, from Brother Love, he said he's now love. He's not even brother. He took out the brother. He said, I'm now love. And then he exuded, or should I say, he put out this persona, which is a facade, as it were, of how much of a brotherhood in some ways, or a fraternity he has of good vibes. You know that thing about people who always want to share good vibes, I'm good vibes. You know, so much. But you see, the interesting thing about all that happened when we saw that video from 2016, which is about 8 years ago, which showed him brutalizing. This was not even domestic violence. This was not domestic. Okay, what's the opposite of domestic? International.
Assault.
This was not assault.
Wow.
Man, this was much.
It's a public.
And this was,
domestic.
yes, this was in a hallway of a hotel. You know that there are cameras.
Yeah.
Of course, he purportedly paid off some staff of the hotel not to release that. He kicked her, and it was her submissiveness.
Yeah.
It was how she just laid down without fighting back.
So
and you know when that
see
happens
that
to a victim.
Exactly, you could see that she had been through it before, and she knew
it's
that
normal, like
if she didn't just stop where she was, it would probably get worse. So she just stayed calm. She didn't fight back.
He threw a vase.
Yeah.
Some sort of a vase.
You know what?
And I wonder what this girl could have gone through in those 8-10 years she was with this man. And then, but it was the apology in quotes. He never apologized to her directly.
No.
And so the issue is this. It's like you are wrong or you apologize when you get caught. You didn't know all of this. You could not. He denied everything, every charge. Over and over again from her and others, and said they were looking for a payday. Fans all came after Cassie and all of that. Yeah. He denied it, and then now you come up disheveled face and yeah, we should put up a camera and all of that. Oh, we can't do that. I can make it seem like I'm sorry for the biggest crime in the world. But it's just this, from what I want to point out is for women, how can we help women who are going through such things and are quiet? Because a lot of them, Halima was asking me the other time that how come for all these years she was quiet? And, you know, the victims of violence and assault, as it were, it seems like they've been cowered into silence. And
okay, go ahead.
I was going to talk about power, and I'll tell you what I mean. Power. So you know how it is where maybe a regular person who doesn't have so much is committing domestic violence. The woman feels, oh, I can run to the police, I can run to his family, I can run to this. But in a situation where she has seen him buy people who were witnesses, buy them off, she has seen him act like nothing they happen, nothing
he has even finished some people's careers.
Exactly. Yeah. She has seen him do so many things that she feels she's in a helpless situation. When the bodyguard saved her, because for years, some of these deeds by Diddy were making the rounds. People were hearing rumors, that's what they were being called. So when she left, people were like, finally she has left him. At least she'll be able to marry. The thought was Diddy didn't marry her. Nobody knew the other side, only as rumors. Now, this video that was released by CNN, it was more or less a case of, okay, earlier this year, Cassie just wanted a payday, and then when they settled out of court, oh, she just needed money. And then people were mocking her. And then I actually feel like her, saying she just needed, that maybe because her bodyguard husband is broke, they needed to collect money from Diddy to sustain. A lot of things were said.
So you know the funny thing, I even feel like the fact that it was even CNN that brought it up was that all the other TMZs and Shade Rooms and all those other platforms, all the other bloggers had probably been, in my opinion, paid off or silenced over time. That was why it had to go all the way to an international news carrier to release that video.
And then his house was recently raided. So many people believe that it was still... You know, some of these folks are so confident, they keep memorabilia of some of these things.
Exactly.
Like, if you had that tape in your house, why are you keeping it?
It's actually
because
possible.
you feel nothing there.
So I was even thinking about, from Cassie's point of view now, the money she collected, girl, thank you for taking that bag. Just start your life again.
Full enough?
The bag, it was a good bag she collected.
Yeah, I think for what she went, was at least 30 million or so.
She collected a good bag.
Not sure.
For what she went through, she deserved to. So a lot of people would have said, why didn't you fight? Why didn't you just go on trial? It would have prolonged the pain. It would have prolonged the issue, and she wouldn't have been able to move on so quickly. So in my opinion, yes, she did the right thing. She took the money and she ran because she knows the sort of person they're dealing with. What if he paid people in court? What if he, you just never know where it was going to go.
And it's just going to get messy because he's a very, very interesting character.
Her keeping quiet was probably for fear of her life, and there are a lot of women going through, similar situations where they just have this feeling that this man is going to... In fact, the way people look at women, God forbid I was in that situation. You know how cuddly and nice my husband is? Would you ever believe he's the one that caused the trouble? No.
Yeah. And
you would never believe.
What you just said is so true. In most cases, abusers look the most innocent.
Exactly. That's
you would never believe they were the abuser.
No, an international brand like him.
Some people go about say, oh, do you know what she did before that?
No, that one is normal. Some people will always say that.
So this is it. Yeah, there is a DSVRT in Lagos, and I think around the country. You can report cases of domestic violence to them. While you guys will talk, I will look for the numbers. I will give them. Wherever you can, please talk. Let it out to somebody. This is one of the reasons, one of the virtues of social media. We've seen people who have cried out on social media and
gotten justice, at least.
So to any of you, any woman out there, or even man, there are some men who are even the ones going through domestic violence, as it were. you can go reach out to the DSVRT. I will get the numbers and talk to somebody. I'm not saying someone around you, a high authority who can do something about it.
So I believe it's imperative to point out that domestic violence is not normal. I've actually seen it's not normal. The word for me is normal. I've been seeing posts on social media, people justifying it, people saying, oh, their mothers went through it. People say, oh, in some cases, their fathers went through it. It is not normal. That's the truth. Domestic violence is not normal, no matter how you look at it. Yes, you can say, oh, she triggered me. That's where your self-control comes into play. Yes, he did something annoying. That's where your self-control comes into play. You do not take out your anger on another human being, especially so brutally. You see some women with bruises all over.
And they think it's acceptable.
You are beating a pregnant woman to the point she loses her pregnancy.
Wow. The misconception is that you can't get justice. Misconception is that speaking out is weakness. Speaking out is actually the bravest thing you can do. Being in that situation and speaking out about it, some people just feel the person was weak and couldn't handle it. That's why she decided to talk. No, she was brave enough. He was brave enough to come out and talk about it. That is why they did that. So try and find that strength, that bravery within yourself to speak out if, for instance, you're going through something like that.
And let's stop shaming those who actually do speak out. Let's stop it.
Okay, so it's the DSVA, and the number is 0800 033 3333. 0800 033 3333. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 threes after the 0800. 0800 63. Yes, 0800 63. That's the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. I will check if
they'll
for
provide
something
a lawyer for
around
you.
the country.
You will get. They will make sure you get your benefits, such as child welfare. You would even have the man take care of you since you are married. See, there are so many things, and this also applies to men in abusive marriages. There are certain ways you can get justice. I beg.
All right, we'll take a time out now. We'll be back in a bit.
At this point, let's take a quick look at what's going on the covers of the newspapers. Mike Mesikeno is here with me as well as we take the covers of the dailies. Today is Monday, May 20th, 2024. Let's start with the Daily Times newspaper, shall we? It says here, constitute committees to reconcile aggrieved APC members, seeks support for party structures. At the top there, it says Germany, Nigeria trade relations hit 3 billion euros, according to an envoy there. It says here, Germany committed to strengthening bilateral relations with Nigeria. Tinubu approves Infracore for Green Zone. Ngelale chairs steering committee. Story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 7. NAF at 60, we are now forced to reckon with, says Air Chief. And seizures, NDLEA declares couple wanted, nabs 4 suspected barons. More on page 2. Mike, should we go to the next paper? Let's see, we have the Nation newspaper with us as well. It says here, Tinubu likely to get minister's performance record this week. Deliverables based on administration's 8 priority areas are criteria. And the story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 4. Top left, Olakunle cleared to become 43rd Olubadan, all bottlenecks removed. President Oke's panel on green economic drive. Ajuri Ngilale is envoy. Central Bank withdraws cybersecurity levy circular. That's an interesting one. And the troops rescue abducted 383 from Sambisa forest.
I saw a video, I think it was last week, of some troops who, I think it was after an attack or some sort of an ambush, and they lost some few people, but I don't know if they evaded or they overpowered the assailant, and some of these troops were crying that they lost some of their brothers, and it struck a chord within me and all of that. They are doing so much, and things like this, we should also make it as loud as when we talk about the kidnappings, that these people, armed forces, are doing their best, and they are trying, in spite of the extenuating circumstances, they are still going out there, giving their lives and doing their best to try and ensure that we have a safe country.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, on the minister's performance, it's been 1 year. I think reviews should be done, even maybe quarterly. We shouldn't even, that's, quarterly. Yeah, because...
It just feels like there are not enough months in the, or days in a month.
Days in a month for it to happen. I mean, we saw what happened with the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. I hope that can go further into other places where, if you have issues where ministers are questionable or they don't do what they're supposed to do, or they just use a few months to try to steal all the money that their village has never stolen before, let them catch them. Let them deal with it.
So it's a KPI matter at this point.
Oh, of course.
And when the president is doing your KPI, there's a lot of questions you need to be able to answer clearly. Now let's see what else we have here. Anxiety over Iran president after chopper crash. Well, they say it was an incident with the chopper. It didn't exactly crash. I know some papers, some dailies are saying it didn't exactly crash.
It don't crash.
That it was...
It don't crash. It don't crash.
Well, everyone survived.
It was the mountainous region. No. There were 3 helicopters, and there were 2 helicopters that had officials, but the one that had the president is the one that crashed, and as at now, there is ultimately no way he could have survived and the people in that particular craft. It was in a mountainous region. They're still even trying to get there, although we heard that there are some drone images that have shown that it was a disaster.
Wow. Okay, so at this point, we'll be watching for that story and give you follow-ups in our news bulletins. We have the Punch newspaper here. Dangote petrol supply, federal government may slash 6 trillion naira fuel import. That's 520 billion naira monthly fuel import expected to drop as Dangote begins supply in June. It says at the top left here, oil production nears 1.7 million barrels per day, according to NNPC. MPC may raise interest rate again on Tuesday. CBN, SEC fined 9 banks, 678 million naira. And as we read from the other paper there, 386 abductees rescued during Sambisa clearance exercise from the military there.
I just want to mention and talk about the fuel supply. Of course, Dangote had mentioned that by June, getting into July, we should be able to sustainably not import fuel. And it was big for me, but it's funny and sad that such a statement should be big. It was funny and it was sad. But at the same time, in the same breath, in that same statement, he mentioned about how he has traveled around Africa and he needs 38 visas. There are about 52 countries in Africa. He says he needs 38 visas to travel around Africa. 38. Do you know what that means?
That's
38.
Inside the same continent.
Inside the same continent. That means just 14. 38. There's a lot we need to get to where we should be as a country. That's all I can say about that.
Let's check out what's happening on the cover of the Vanguard. Manufacturers wail as unsold goods pile up in warehouses. As cost of living rises, purchasing power drops. Palm oil producers worst hit. Beer producers emerge best performers. Experts blame FX volatility, energy crisis, and prefer solutions.
As a country, I wish. I mean, somebody. I was having a discussion yesterday with someone, very short one, and person made mention that look, you just have to have money to be respected in this country. We've come to the point where you had mentioned that because of purchasing power dropping and, of course, cost of living rising so much, even before this particular time, nobody cared about where you got the money from. You had the money, you will be respected. But it's even worse now where, look, it's so bad that nobody really cares. And so our morals, our values are just down the drain. It's getting worse and worse. I wish we got to the point whereby we understand that, look, there is something deeper than just a deep pocket there. Life is much more than that. Values are what matter. And if as a country we should hold values dear to us, we would do better. You know, there's...
We'll definitely do better. We have quite a few stories here for you to spotlight when you decide to pick up one of the papers this morning. At this point, we have to wrap it up on the headlines in the dailies. Thank you, Mike. We are heading over to the kitchen at this point. Mary is standing by.
Thank you very much, Titi. Welcome to the kitchen on Wake Up Nigeria. This morning promises to be just as exciting as ever. For breakfast, we have Chef Prudie. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm super, super chuffed. I'm actually wondering what you're about to make for us this morning because I see a lot of, I love anything that has herbs anyway.
Right.
So I'm seeing a lot of it here. And then I'm seeing mango
Yes.
and pasta.
Yes.
Oh, man. What are we having for breakfast?
So we're having mango pasta with pan-seared chicken.
Mango pasta with pan-seared chicken.
Yes.
Oh, sounds like a mouthful. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
Okay, we're using mangoes, we're using some fresh herbs, garlic.
What herbs are we using
So
exactly?
this is rosemary.
Okay.
And you have your thyme here.
Okay.
So there's garlic, habanero pepper.
Okay.
We have lemon.
Okay.
And this is for garnish, watercress. And this is just mixed ingredients.
Okay.
Then we have our butter here.
Okay.
Cooking cream.
Okay.
Some cheese.
Okay.
Vegetable oil.
Okay.
Fish sauce.
Fish sauce.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have our pasta and our chicken already marinated.
Okay, and of course onions.
Yeah.
Now, what did you use to marinate the chicken?
Okay, we just use black pepper and some salt.
Okay. What herb is that?
That's your rosemary.
Rosemary. So rosemary, black pepper, and salt. How long has this been sitting?
Okay, last night.
Last night?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Did you refrigerate it or you just left it out?
No, I refrigerated.
You refrigerated it. Okay. Let's talk about the process. What is here?
Okay, this is parsley oil.
Parsley oil.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's homemade.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about how you're putting this together. Then hopefully you have time to tell us how you made your parsley oil. But what's the process of making
so what
this
we're going
dish?
to do is we're going to roast the mangoes with some herbs.
Roast the mangoes with herbs. Okay.
Definitely. Then we're going to add...
What herbs are we using?
We're using rosemary, thyme.
Okay.
We're adding garlic and the habanero pepper to it.
To roast the...
Yes.
Okay. Are we using oil?
Definitely, a bit of oil.
Just a bit of oil.
Yes.
Okay, so we roast the mangoes.
Definitely.
Is it too chunky or this is how it's going to be in the food?
We're still going to blend.
Oh, we're still blending it. So
Yes.
we'll roast it. Okay, let me let you tell us.
Okay, so after roasting the mangoes with the herbs, we're going to blend.
Okay.
And after blending, we'll bring to reduction.
Okay.
Then we'll cook our pasta.
Okay.
And just combine with our cream and some cheese.
I thought reduction was more with baking.
No.
Okay.
Even with cooking.
Even with cooking?
Yes.
Okay. You learn every day. You learn every day. Okay, so we reduced, we do the reduction for this. And then what do we do with the rest of the...
Okay, the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to add our cooking cream, our butter, and some of this seasoning before adding our pasta, just to give it the more moist base.
Okay.
And we're going to serve with chicken and garnish with our watercress.
Okay. Is it going to be like Alfredo pasta?
Yes, that's the idea.
Oh, right. Okay, okay, okay. So this is more like mango...
It's mango Alfredo.
Alfredo... Chef Rudy, what did you call it again? Just let's stick to mango pasta. So if you've been wondering what you could do with your fruits, I'm just curious, is there some other kind of fruit I can use for this?
Sure, you can use any fruit. Yes, aside your mango, I think you can use pawpaw.
Okay.
You can use carrots.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you're thinking of something new to do in the kitchen, especially when it comes to fruits, this is an idea you could use. Mangoes are in season, so make the best use of them. We need to take a break now. Of course, Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Just stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
When was the first Gulda ultimate search? Editor?
Don't put any cricket sound. I'm talking. Okay, Pere. How many times has Ghana qualified for the World Cup?
5 times. Hey, you can't do that now.
That's what it is.
Wait. Calm down. Why are you like this?
This is your team.
Small play now.
They will not
Somebody cannot play with you again.
They will not be impressed though. The team that you're supporting. And
Ghana will be alright.
Yeah, that's
Charlie? Cheers, Charlie.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We've got our SME segment coming up. Adeso Metal Furniture is a manufacturer of metal framed furniture in Nigeria with furnitures that serve a multi-purpose use, either for commercial or household use. And to talk more about this, Harrison Solomon Adewale, who is the founder of Adeso Metal Furniture. Yes. It's great to have you. You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about, you are the founder. How did you get into the whole furniture thing? How did it start for you?
Basically, as a youth and trying to, strive in the economy that we are now in Nigeria. So we just have to look out for things that, we can make a fortune for and make a future for ourselves. And basically, I'm the kind of person that like, being productive. I try to make something out of myself and to serve humanity. So that's why I was like, in the furniture world, 90% of the Nigerian furniture world, they basically use wood. Yeah. And I come from a village where I noticed that at my early birth stage, they have a high rate of woods, timbers, but now we are lacking that. Okay. So in the nearest future, Nigeria will be moving from, wood works to metal. So
metal works.
Look into the future rather than be,
going back
the regular way of furnishing. At least the modern world has already been trying what's called metal with from stainless steel, nickel, and every other type of metal materials that they have been using.
Okay.
Like from countries like Turkey, China, even USA, they are using metal. So I just try to venture into the world, and we have been improving.
Now, you made mention of how scarce wood has become, especially in your village. Is it easier to source for metal?
Basically, I would say it's easier because it's quality. You can vary its quality. Okay, probably for a lasting durability, you need 2 mm thickness. You have to get it, but for wood, you don't really get the quality you require. Aside from all this manufactured wood that get imported, so both metal and manufactured wood, they are both imported. So I would rather resort to.
Oh, okay.
Metal.
So you import the metal. It's not like they are.
No, it's not that I'm importing, but 90% of the materials are being imported and manufactured in Nigeria. So
okay,
it doesn't different from HDF and other type of manufactured wood.
Or manufactured wood, yes, the ones that we've seen in the industry. Yes. How is the reception now to metal furniture? Like you said, this is wood, but I know that more in public places. That's why you see a lot of metal, because metals are more reliable, more sturdy. You know, they can last. So I see it more in public places. So your clientele, is it more towards those that have public establishments rather than, you know, a household, materials and all that?
Basically, we serve varieties of clients. That's why in our let's say definition, it's commercial and residential.
Residential.
So,
okay.
Like as this sofa is, we can make it out with metals.
So, but you know, a lot of people might talk about how safe it will be when it comes to a residential use. Like, I want to sit down and maybe a kid not hit their leg or something and get injured and all of that. Does that concern ever come up when it comes to?
Because basically we use quality materials from our own hand.
Okay.
So I don't know about other people in the industry. So just like the wood is fully padded, you won't even have a feel of wood. Same goes to the metal too.
Oh, okay. So it's basically the framework. It's not like you have to see, because the thing in public spaces is that you see the metal directly. No. You sit on the metal.
Those one are outdoor or wrought iron works.
Okay.
Particularly for residential.
For residential, it is padded, just the framework, skeletal this thing. And then you cover it with foam and all of that, as it were.
All the upholstery we go through.
You know, you made mention of how this has been something for you. I mean, we are in an economy whereby people have to try to source, to find ways to, move and do their own things and all of that. Pivoting into this and all of that, how have other people come into this industry? How is the industry saturated? Is this something that more people should want to strive to do more, or people are already there that much?
Basically, people are already there unconsciously, because the metal furniture had to do with welding and some part of furniture. So from the welding part, 60% of welders tend to have an idea, a glimpse of it, because when you have users demanding for it and they don't know the rationale, because we are not really that much, popular.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say we are an industry yet.
Oh, okay.
So we just know that it's will I say blue collar type of job or it.
Okay, so, all right, I understand what you mean.
When the end users want it, they have to, just look out for a welder. But from likes of myself, I basically focus on metal furniture, both interior, exterior, and the commercial and residential use, any part. So it's basically my furniture. You can't come to me and say you want to do a gate. I won't go. Like a regular welder job, I won't take it.
Okay, so
that's not my line.
That's not your line exactly. You have a niche. You've niched down
course. It has to do
into
with
furniture. And all of that. Yeah. As an industry, what has been the most challenging? Okay, as an upcoming industry, what has been the most challenging part of doing business, especially in Nigeria, as it were?
Well, the most challenging part is the fact that we in Nigeria don't tend to appreciate what we have, and we don't tend to appreciate what we use. Because basically, we prefer this, we have this sense of valuing ready-made stuff. Like, you just go there and pick it and bring it home. We are not ready to, manufacture, produce. And I wouldn't blame the citizen, I would blame the government for running the consumption economy, not a productive economy. Because if it's a productive economy, everybody will be involved. We know this is our product. In the USA, we have USA product, we have Chinese product. It's well understood that even the American dream is not made in America, but the people do acknowledge the fact that this is our product.
But how about the case where it comes to pricing? And people tell you that I don't care about the pricing. I don't care about where it is made. I just care about what I can afford. Because some people will tell you that the ready-made ones at times are cheaper to do than the ones that are fabricated, and giving you a specification and telling you to fabricate something for me. It might be cheaper for me to go get a ready-made one. So why wouldn't I go for the ready-made one?
Basically, aside from the commercial usage, the residential usage will prefer customized one.
Customized one.
Because like myself, I had my brochure and I'm forced to just abandon my brochure. The reason being is how the product that is being presented to an end user, they bring totally a new one.
Okay, but now I'm talking about addressing the issue of pricing. Would you say that if I see a particular kind of specification of something I want, and I want you to do it for me, would it be cheaper getting you to fabricate that thing for me or getting a ready-made?
Yeah, that question is a yes or no.
Because yes, because I know that there are times when I know of people, and I know people who see furniture and it's expensive because it's imported, and then they get to a carpenter and tell the person fabricate for me and it's cheaper. Yes, but I mean in your own particular case scenario where it has to do with metal, with the pricing, how is it?
It happens that way, but the major determinant is the quantity you are ordering for.
Okay.
Recently, a client of mine from Port Harcourt ordered the furniture. It cost 200,000 just for a single chair. I was like, wow, it's too expensive. I said, no, you are making one. Okay. And this is it's more or less like a sample. Even if it's you are bringing it from China or Turkey, it's going to be expensive. But if you are going from 10 or 5 units, then
it comes down.
The price comes down.
All right, Adesul, this is all of us here wishing you the best. Keep on doing. Hopefully, it becomes a big industry, as it were. I like that you say. We're looking forward to that. See you at the top.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, just while you grab a seat there, let's head over to Lady O. What's good? What's happening there?
The cooking is what is happening, Mike. And Chef Fruity is hard at work. Yeah. A lot has been happening behind the scenes just so that we can achieve this. So I'll let Chef Fruity run us through what we've done so far. The last thing everyone saw was you roasting the mangoes.
The mangoes, rather.
Yeah, so tell us how you achieved this after.
Okay, so what we did is after roasting tomatoes and the herbs, the mangoes and the herbs, we just blended them.
The herbs again, please.
Rosemary, thyme, garlic, and we added habanero pepper.
Okay.
So we blended it, and this is what we have.
So you blended that habanero pepper whole?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we have.
Yes, correct.
So it's definitely going to have this slightly spicy.
Ah. Nigerians, you know?
Yeah, of course. Well, you could have put too much. I'm just saying. Okay. So now that this is ready,
yes,
we have the pasta boiling.
Yes.
What happens next?
So we're going to pan-sear the chicken.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you put salt in the pasta? Or is
yes, the water already was boiling. We added salt to it.
Okay. So, at what point does the fish oil come into play?
The fish oil in the combination.
In the combination.
Yes.
Okay. So wait for that to heat up, and then we'll put in the chicken. Yeah. Now, I said I was going to ask you about this oil, the parsley oil. Mm-hmm. How did you make it?
So you just have to blend your parsley with your vegetable oil or sunflower oil, then sieve.
Just sieve it.
Yes, so you can season with either salt or black pepper.
Oh, you can season it as well. Yes. Okay. So parsley, black pepper.
Just your parsley first and your vegetable oil.
Parsley and vegetable oil, then you can season it with salt or black pepper, not both.
You can do both if you want to.
Okay. What does this do anyway?
It's just to intensify the flavor.
The flavor of the parsley. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're putting the part with the herbs down first, so it infuses in the oil.
Sure. Okay. Then I would also add garlic to this.
Okay. It just reminds me of, that stuff they say about mothers using their bare hands to fry stuff.
You're already used to it.
You're used to it.
Yeah.
Do you still have fingertips?
I do.
Do you still feel something there?
Sure, I do.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So, Chef Fruity, what does Chef Fruity do besides cooking?
Okay, aside cooking, I run my own mobile kitchen here in Lagos.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, so I do food deliveries to companies.
Okay.
Yes, I also teach. I'm a chef instructor.
Okay. You have your own academy or you work with an academy?
I work with an academy.
Okay.
I'm a chef instructor.
Okay, okay.
Yes. And I also own a foundation where we reach out to teenage moms.
Okay.
Yes, and kids in slums.
Okay. Oh, wow. You do a lot of things, I dare say, besides cooking.
Sure.
So for you, cooking is a passion or is just something to make a living?
No, it's actually a passion. Then we look for the money-making side of the cooking because it's needed to pay the bills.
Well, true. So which came first? The love for cooking or the love for money? The passion?
Yes.
Ah, so at what point did you decide to convert your passion into making money?
When I started seeing what chefs earn, I was like, okay, there's actually money in this, so let me
not cook for my husband and my family alone. It's time to monetize it.
My husband is also a chef.
Your husband is a chef?
Yes.
People used to do competition sometimes. This Saturday, we'll see who will be the best. Those are the things they say bond couples with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, we'll get on with the cooking. The food will soon be ready. Don't you worry about that. Right now, however, having reached the top of the hour, we have to take a break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, Father.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. So here, recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
Yeah, pole dancer does not
you're already almost naked.
You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to what is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
Well,
yeah.
Are you feeling blue?
No, I'm feeling pink.
We're here to make sure you feel pink. Giving you that bright splash of sunshine into your morning. Hope you had an amazing first hour with us. Well, we're inspiring to take on the new week with the right level of energy.
Yeah.
Welcome. It's the second lap of the show.
All our dreams can actually come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So, I'd like to encourage you. We would like to encourage you to do so. Hope for the best. And when we say the best, we mean the very best.
I have to really take a look at that and think about it. Are you at every point in time dreaming?
Yeah.
You have something that you look forward to? You know, at every time, let's take stock and see. It's gone to a point where a lot of us are just in survival mode.
True.
Very true. It's not, so we
just
understand that.
Get to the end of the month.
Exactly.
Get to payday.
You know, survival, that's even those that have a payday. Yeah, more of even those that don't even have a payday to look forward to. So it's hard when it's survival mode to think of dreams. But I would say that make the best of wherever you are. Yeah. Try to make the best. We as Nigerians are known to be resilient. We're known to be dogged. We're known to always fight through. And we will keep doing all of that. Mary, of course, is doing something beautiful. Mary, when I first saw the mangoes, I thought it was something fruity, fruit flavored, something. Yeah. But then I saw frying and all of that. What do you have going on there?
Right, mango. It's still fruit flavored.
Okay.
Like your pasta is going to have mango inside it. Courtesy Chef Rudy. So if you've never had this, you might want to write it down, do something really special for your better half. It's very deceptive when you see the spaghetti and the mango, but when you add the remaining ingredients, you know what's up. You get the idea.
Yes, we do.
So that's what makes it special. The other ingredients you infuse in it. But the aroma here, guys, it's epic. There's something about pan-seared chicken. Nothing matches it. Nothing.
So there's actually another fruit I like to cook, and that's pineapple. Have you ever grilled pineapple before? Just put some cinnamon or some suya spice on top of pineapple
y'all are being adventurous.
Goodness me. Suya spice on pineapple.
Pineapple.
You know what? Let's stop talking about food right now. Let's head to what we still have on the show. It was an exciting weekend in the world of football as the Premier League finally came to an end. Manchester City won the Premier League 4th time in a row. Mike is going to be here with Mary to have a conversation.
Olajide will be here to perform this morning. His music inspiration comes from real events and relatable day-to-day activities around him, which he uses to paint, picture, and serenade his listeners. He'll be here to be serenaded.
And of course, Gabriel G.V. Balogun is a speaker, workshop facilitator, learning and development leader, and is known for cultivating high-performing teams as he coaches individuals and consults for companies as well. We are having a very interesting conversation today when it comes to building authentic connections. Do you know exactly what to do? How to remain authentic with your connections? Even just meeting people can be a problem for some people. So we're going to have an interesting conversation with Gabriel Balogun on motivation very soon.
I want to talk about my weekend. And the major part of my weekend was staying awake and fighting to watch the Usyk and Fury match. About, as it were. It was about 12 a.m., past 12 a.m. on Sunday morning. That's when it started. And I was trying different ways, trying to, this link, that we were trying to get to watch it. But I got in part of the match. And so now, for the first time in 25 years, the world has an undisputed heavyweight champion.
Undisputed.
He might just have the title for 2 weeks because one of the belts would have to be relinquished for a mandatory challenger. Two people are going to fight for the belt. But you see, something about that fight. Fury at some point, before now, seemed like he was, trying to dodge the fight. When he finally came, this is what happened. Those were men fighting.
Yeah.
They beat each other up. Usyk had a broken jaw. Fury had a bloody nose. It was a heavyweight fight. And so we're thinking about where can Anthony Joshua plug into all of this?
So, funny enough, what you said is what I wanted to talk about. Yeah. The fact that this justifies Anthony Joshua's thrashing. Fury and Usyk. Because you would see the two elephants fighting. Please, who wants to kill Fine Boy for us? Like, I was watching that man and I was, as in, boom, and I was like, hey, Joshua, Uma, try you.
But Usyk is a warrior, man.
He is.
It was
He
brutal.
beat Joshua twice, and now it's understandable.
Do you know what it means to have a broken jaw? Your jaw is everything when it comes to boxing.
Shifted, yeah.
Like, it's everything. He went in round 9. If it was not for the rope and the referee, he would have knocked Fury out.
And then when everything was done, Fury was already saying, yes, I'm the champion.
It wasn't going to be.
But it felt like Fury had just survived to the... How many rounds was it?
12 rounds.
12, the 12th round. It felt like he just made it. It was definitely a tough bout, but my issue is undisputed. That term undisputed comes from bout after bout after bout of showing that prowess. But now, I still don't understand how they count the points. I always just assumed, well, from my youth, that once you hit the floor is when they knock you out and you've won.
Yeah.
How do they calculate those points? I still don't get it.
Okay, so it's punches that land.
Okay.
Now, over it, Fury threw more punches.
Okay.
But he had less percentage landing on Usyk. Usyk landed more punches on him.
Okay.
And so that counted towards it. But you see the countdown where, if you notice, Fury didn't hit the floor. But this is what happened. In the 9th round, the ref stopped and gave a countdown, which normally happens when someone hits the floor.
Yeah.
So it was actually a knockdown as well. But he didn't fall down. But the point is this, the ref had to come in, because if the referee didn't come in, Baba had gone. It was gone, because it was just bouncing on the rope like this. They were just giving But I know the sweet thing about all of this was that Joshua was watching.
Yes, he was there.
Yes,
Front seat. He was there.
He was there with Cristiano Ronaldo. It was interesting.
And I just kept saying to myself that whatever Joshua does in this life, he should just avoid Fury.
Yeah, so I was watching from Twitter, Twitterverse, or is it X now? That's where I was watching. I wasn't watching from the TV. But good bout. At this point, we have to wrap it up on this. We're going to take a quick look at the weather now.
The news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. We're monitoring security concerns, and we start off in Akwa Ibom State, where gunmen have kidnapped the traditional ruler of Umbo local government area, Ogwong Abang, at his palace. According to the police public relations officer in the state, ASP Timfon John, the commissioner of police, Wahid Ailara, and all the service commanders have moved down to Umbo local council to ascertain the situation. You've recalled that the Nigerian Medical Association in the state last week directed its members to withdraw their services following the kidnap of their colleague, John Esu. In Kaduna State, 2 bandits have been reportedly killed by a mobile police team deployed to Kuruga in Chukun local government area of the state. The overseeing commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arua, disclosed that the operation was in response to a distress call of an attack on farmers. He also explained that the police operatives recovered arms and ammunition from the bandits during the gun duel. Outside Nigeria, a helicopter in a convoy carrying the Iranian president has been involved in an accident. State media reports that President Ibrahim Raisi was on board a helicopter that experienced a hard landing yesterday. According to the Minister of Interior, rescuers are still trying to reach the site due to the difficult weather conditions. President Raisi was heading to the city of Tabriz in the northwest of Iran. Reports also say heavy fog is making the search difficult at the site where it is thought that the helicopter may have landed. And that's it on the news update of this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. To stay with us, we have so much more to come.
In a move to end fuel scarcity and create employment opportunities, Sabas Oil and Gas has completed another mega station along the busy road of Mbura, Abuja. The state-of-the-art facility has impressive holding capacity of 1.6 million liters and is equipped with 80 pump nozzles. Sabas Oil and Gas logistics capacity in both marine and trucking has a significant impact on fuel distribution and availability in the region, while the larger storage capacity and the increased number of dispensing points will eradicate the long queues through constant supply of products. The increased capacity will also enable the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) to streamline the distribution of refined product, ensuring a more efficient and reliable supply chain. This development is in line with Sabas Oil and Gas commitments to supporting the nation's energy, security, and economic growth. The new mega station is expected to serve as a model for sustainable and efficient fuel distribution, setting a benchmark for the industry.
On my dark marks, I've tried everything. Nivea Lumina 630 works from day one with visible results in just 2 weeks and 71% dark marks reduction in 12. Join the 1 million women already using Lumina 630 from Nivea.
All right, welcome to the beautiful game. Mary's here with me. Mary, there's quite a lot that happened over the weekend. Where do we unpack from? Should we do any mentioning of? Okay, we've spoken about
already talked about the
Usyk. All right, so let's get straight into football and all of that. And of course, it's the EPL. So yes, it's no longer news that Man City picked the title, yeah. But people have forgotten how much of Pep Guardiola made mention of something. He said while he was taking the title, he made mention and he gave accolades to his protege, that's talking about Mikel Arteta, and said, look, they pushed us to the final day. This is the second time or third time Pep has been pushed to the final day. And, you know, and there's something about Arsenal this season which you would understand, which has been an improvement over last season. In 3 matches, Man City didn't beat Arsenal. Over in the Big Six, Arsenal did the best in the Big Six. And, you know, it was that Aston Villa. I don't know if you remember the Aston Villa.
Is this Aston Villa of it?
Unai Emery, of course, former boss and all of that. My point is that it was an excellent and interesting season. Yes, it's 4 seasons in a row. There was Liverpool, which you expected to give them all the talk. But Arsenal have actually performed quite well. Kudos should be given to them. It's not all doom and gloom. It's been an improvement. Without a solid striker, think about it. I mean, Arsenal did quite well.
The reality is, no matter how people try to analyze it, Arsenal did well. It's a far cry from previous seasons, especially last season when there was hope. If it was a case of last season when, you know, Arsenal had a higher chance until they started losing matches, it's a different case. This is a case of you consistently winning matches. Of course, as you mentioned, Aston Villa has been the nemesis, both for Man City as at December, I think December 6th or thereabout. That was the last match they played that they lost. After that, it's been wins and draws. And then, of course, the same Aston Villa on doing Manchester and doing Arsenal. Because if we hadn't lost that match, we could have had a higher chance.
Who is we? Yeah, yes, all right.
I'm talking about Arsenal.
We don't call the club name.
Arsenal,
okay,
yeah.
but during that final match here, we might see some clips of the match. Arsenal conceded against Everton on the final match day.
Yes, and you know, at some point, it was a case of...
And then Kudu scored this super goal. I saw the goal because I was driving.
My goodness.
And he scored this super goal and it seemed like, okay, 2-1. Arsenal were playing 1-1, but it seemed like Arsenal they go still win, you know, which they finally did. But if West Ham had scored a second goal, you know, just before Rodri scored that goal, Arsenal fans were having hope. In fact, there was a time when Man City scored the third goal, some Arsenal fans in the Emirates Stadium actually thought that West Ham had equalized, and they started selling. It was mad celebration and noise and all of that.
So you know,
so it was final day drama.
When any realistic Arsenal fan would know that this is over, when Tottenham could not even equalize, could not even score a goal against Manchester City. As soon as that happened, it was as good as over, because there is no self-respecting team, and a team like Man City, for example, that will lose a match on the last day, especially to West Ham at home for that matter, it would have been almost impossible to happen. So realistically, it was a case of, well, West Ham fit try, but if you know happen. And then, of course, at the halftime, it was actually a case of irony. I say irony because here's Arsenal needing a win, and they were drawing with Everton. Meanwhile, the Man City we needed to draw was leading. And so it was a case of, okay, it looks like it's over.
It's over. Yeah, at one point it was 5 points. But something also interesting on the final match day was that Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, played or coached his final match as a Liverpool manager for now. After 9 years at the club, he signed out with a win for Liverpool against Wolves and all of that. And Pep Guardiola almost moved to tears when he said, when he was eulogizing Klopp's work. And he mentioned that, look, this is one man that has pushed me to the limit the most. In fact, Klopp has the best head-to-head record. He's the only manager that has a better head-to-head record against Pep that in management as a whole. You know, so would the Premiership miss Jurgen Klopp?
I would say the Premiership would miss Jurgen Klopp. When the incident with Arsenal happened yesterday, I remember thinking to myself, this must be how Liverpool must have felt the other season. What was it?
2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago.
Yes, when they almost had it. The Man City
and it was Aston Villa that time. Aston Villa were leading 2-0. Aston Villa was leading 2-0. You know, Liverpool were drawing, and then Man City came back. I think it was Gundogan, and it was 3-2. That match ended. It was a final match.
Yes. And so that was what cost Liverpool the title that year. I'm actually very... I felt emotional as I watched Klopp. But then I also observed something. For about 2 months now, if you've been checking out Klopp, he's been relaxed.
He's been relaxed.
He's looking fresh. You could tell that he has already started signing out.
He came into a press conference, his final match, a pre-match conference. And they said, Klopp, this is the second week you're coming in late. He said, who cares about that?
As in, I'm almost out of here.
And all of that. But the point is, now people are talking about the level of competition. Klopp has left. Onslaught is coming in. It doesn't mean that Man City, it is road on clear. Because before Arteta came in last season and this season, Klopp was the only person who could give a challenge to Pep.
And now I dare say Arsenal can. See, it's more exciting because it's a case of the...
What Arsenal need to do?
And the protégé.
What they need to do?
So Arsenal needs a striker. Arsenal also needs to work harder at their...
Not a striker. They have a striker. They need a...
They need another striker.
They need a... No, I would say maybe you're looking... They need a striker that can score, that can give you at least 20 league goals.
Yes.
A striker can give you 20 league goals.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know, because there's a Gabriel Jesus, there's Edin Ketia. Gabriel Jesus, we know the kind of player he is. But if Arsenal had a player who could give you 20 league goals and all of that, maybe they might have been able to, you know, those few chances.
And I actually agree. If you check the goal difference, maybe one could say, okay, Arsenal did score a lot.
Arsenal did score, but you know, those crucial times.
However, those crucial times when you needed the 3 points, for you to at least... that
I mean, look at the Haaland. This season, he is still the highest goal scorer. People criticize Haaland. In fact, Roy Keane came and said that when he's not scoring, his general play is like a League 2 player.
Yeah, that was even said, I think it was about a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago. And then he mentioned about it. But you see, the thing is that when he doesn't need to play, but when the chips are down and everything, and then it's time to score, he goes there and he gives you that goal.
And you know something, hate him, love him, Haaland is talented, especially when it comes to giving that goal. There are times I'm like, don't let that guy get there. Don't let that guy. Like, I feel most clubs should just be marking that guy. I'm surprised sometimes when I see him cutting loose at a corner and I'm like, can't you see? He's going to... And he does. And I'm like, you guys should, like, keep an eye on him. Like,
all right, let's look at other places. Aston Villa, it was a good season for Aston Villa. Unai Emery, they qualified for the Champions League in 4th place. moving forward from here, Oli Watkins had a big shout in for player of the season. Of course, Cole Palmer was young player, and Phil Foden won the player of the season, scored 2 beautiful goals on the final day. But Aston Villa, with Unai Emery, did Arsenal, would you say Arsenal didn't know what they had?
So
when
Arsenal
Unai Emery
knew
was coach
what they had. Arsenal did, actually. However, it was just not the right person at that time.
At that time.
There were so many issues. Of course, his communication is a lot better now. Back then, of course, we all know of good evening and all of that.
He still says good evening. But my point is that the focus is Aston Villa now.
I listen to him post-match these days, and I'm actually impressed at how well he's worked on his English. So communication is always a problem when it comes to coaching teams. If you're, no matter how idealistic, no matter how intelligent you are, if you cannot pass the message across, it's a problem.
It's a problem. That was also an issue.
Yes, that was actually the major issue besides other.
So he has learned and used that experience to help Aston Villa.
It's done well for Aston Villa. We cannot deny the fact that what Aston Villa is enjoying now is as a result of Emery's hard work. Like, do you know what it means for Aston Villa to now be I dare say a bone in the neck of most big teams. Like when you're about to play Aston Villa,
even though they lost scandalously in the final day to Crystal Palace, I was surprised.
I did not see that one coming.
How do you concede 5 goals or so?
5,
yeah,
and I'm like,
so much.
Final day for that matter.
Yeah, for that matter. All right, but then let's just skittle over to Germany and talk about Xabi Alonso. He has done an unbeaten season. He has joined the ranks of Arsenal, Juventus, Preston North, and a few teams, about 6 of them that have gone unbeaten in the whole season. 2 more matches to be legendary, to go a whole season in all competitions unbeaten. There is a DFB Pokal final against Kaiserslautern, and then there is the Europa League final against Atalanta. Xabi Alonso, what a manager. In his, he joined halfway through the prior season, and this season unbeaten in a Germany that has a Bayern Munich who have won 11 straight titles. What words can you use to describe such a coach?
There's talent and then there's capability. He has both. There's something about being able to coach people to success. People don't realize that there's a lot involved. But when you actually, there was actually a documentary I saw of Alonso talking to his players, and you could tell that he was talking from his own personal experience as well. And so there's a wealth of knowledge from him, and he's able to impart it as well. And I find that really remarkable.
You think Leverkusen can do the unbeaten? 2 more matches now, 2 finals.
So Leverkusen.
One is the Europa League is going to be on Wednesday. On Wednesday here, the Europa League final against Atalanta, and then on Saturday, I think, the DFB Pokal final against Kaiserslautern.
Nothing is impossible. But then, of course, we know quite well that there are some people that are dedicated to pouring sand in people's garage. And that can happen.
That could happen.
I have learned with football that never say never.
We have Ademola Lookman, who is the Atalanta team, of course, and then there's Victor Boniface. There's also the talk that whichever of them wins the Europa League has a big shout in for the African Player of the Year and all of that. I mean, so Victor Boniface, Nathan Teller, who are the 2 Nigerians with Leverkusen squad. I mean, Granit Xhaka left Arsenal. It seems that everybody it not seems. Every top player that left Arsenal won a title somewhere else. And Granit Xhaka, of course, was a mainstay, has been a mainstay of this Leverkusen team all through this while. So kudos to them.
Because Harry Kane came from Tottenham.
No. Harry Kane is not. It's shocking.
It's a misfortune.
42 goals, 41 matches. One of the best. He's had the best scoring rate this season.
He's actually had a fantastic
personal season.
Yeah, but
Bayern Munich lost everything. Thomas Tuchel. Now they are not even going to play in the Super Cup because they ended as 3rd. Stuttgart came 2nd. They ended as 3rd. Because they lost on the final day to Hoffenheim after scoring 2 goals. I mean, 2 goals ahead.
Have you heard about the possible swap?
Which one?
Between Ten Hag and Tuchel. I've been hearing about that. That Tuchel might go to Bayern Munich. And then...
Tuchel won't go Bayern Munich.
Then Ten Hag...
You see,
oh my God, now I can't see that.
You see something.
I've never thought of it that way.
You see something. You see something. When I meet my French, when Tumumu jump for road.
You're rude.
Yeah. You don't have to change your head. But brainless, Ten Hag and Tuchel and took care. You are too.
See, don't say that too. Tuchel might create the magic.
Look, let me tell you.
Bayern
are in shreds. Why do I say they are in shreds? I mean, look at it. Nagelsmann was sacked after Oliver Kahn and Hasan Salihamidzic had a personal vendetta against Nagelsmann. Sacked Nagelsmann from a perfect season. Tuchel came in. He just won that title last season because Dortmund messed up on the final day. This season, he bought a Hurricane, the best striker. Forget Hurricane is the #1 best striker in the world. You bought him to join that team. Bought 1 or 2 other players. Had a Bayern team, world class,
a formidable team.
And he came third.
And he came third.
To Stuttgart and this thing, you lost. Do you know who took them out? Saarbrücken took them out in the DFB Pokal, and then of course they lost the Champions League to Real Madrid.
Yes.
Tuchel.
I can allow that because Real Madrid.
Of course, we've seen people have spoken about how much of a genius he is, but in his this time around now, he has been a disappointment. Should I dare say, disappointing for me for Tuchel. So I mean, Harry Kane now, his hoodoo has continued. Carry him wish.
That's why I said it's unending. Like we talk about, you mentioned the Arsenal players that have gone on to win titles.
Yeah.
The reason he left Tottenham was so he can at least achieve glory elsewhere.
And which place is sure than Bayern?
Bayern, no. Bayern
11 matches straight. 11 titles straight. If there was one club that is the surest club to win a title, #1 is Bayern, #2 is PSG.
Yes,
Bayern before PSG. Bayern is the #1 club in the world that you know that when you go.
This season was a disappointment.
Bayern #1, PSG #2, Real #3. And there's a reason why I put Real #3. But if you at least Bayern, the Copa, the DFB Pokal, and the league, sure for them.
So as it is now, Guardiola had in mind to think that he will go 3 trebles in his mind. He wanted to do treble the 3rd time. He wanted to do treble the 3rd time. Guy, calm down.
No. That double now. Let's hope that Tegolo and his boys should come together and say,
please just ignore
we
me.
hold it.
Because they are going to come after you.
Don't try Tegolo and Pokoli. That combination. Poco Anthony Lee. Okay, thank you so much, Mary. It was a pleasure talking to you this morning.
Absolutely,
All right. Okay, we'll take a time out now. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, we'll round up the show with some motivation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
Final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
How many cameras do they have?
Nikon.
My friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Welcome back. It's a Monday and we have motivation. Now, you probably once or twice a year scroll through your phone book and see some phone numbers you've not connected with in probably 2-3 years. And you wonder why. When you met this person, took the person's number, did you create an authentic connection with that person? And that's the question that's been running through my head ever since I heard the topic for today's discussion, building authentic connections. Well, Gabriel Balogun is a friend of the house. He's a speaker, workshop facilitator, L&D leader. He's known for cultivating high-performing teams as he coaches individuals and consults for companies and organizations. He speaks regularly on subjects just like this that empower human capital and drive personal development. And that's why we're here this morning. We're hoping that after today, you'll have a little inkling into how to build authentic connections. It's great to have you back.
It's good to be back.
GB Balogun.
Yes.
All right. So the term connections, we hear that term all the time. I get one connect. I get one connect. I get one guy. I get Pacific. You know, I have someone in this space that can help. But how do you build from just networking and getting someone's details to building an authentic connection?
Yeah, I think that every connection is built on value exchange.
Okay.
And I know that can sound very commercial, but that's because when we think of value as something that I need to exchange resources for.
Okay.
But value could be as simple as, this guy just makes me feel safe. And that's value. Or the security guard just washes my car every morning without me telling him. I can give him like an extra 10K.
Wow.
That's value, right? So that's how you build relationships. That's how you build connections. You want to be able to say, there is something that you do for me, or there is something that I do for you that strengthens our relationship, and that's value.
So now this initial conversation, maybe you're at an event or at a party, and you discover that this is someone that, you know, good to have in your network, or at least to be familiar with or establish a connection with. What you are saying essentially is, don't go with the mindset of what can I get from you.
Definitely.
I need to go with the mindset of what can I provide or what service can I give to you.
Yes. You want me to say on that? Yeah, I think that when people choose to outdo themselves in kindness, we have authentic connections. If you approach every relationship from what can I do for you, you would realize that all things being equal, except the person is a terrible person, they would use you. But if the person is a good person, the human being cannot survive from receiving alone. There's a law called the law of reciprocity. Every human being that is good is compelled to do good back to any person that has done good to them. So when you approach conversations from what can I do for you, not necessarily what can I sell to you, but do you have a book launch that I can organize for you? Do you have something?
Yeah.
Once you discover those things.
So what value can I provide?
Yes.
So I think this conversation sort of then leans on to people understanding what value they can provide. Why do you think people don't see themselves as having enough value to give?
It's because we underestimate what we can do for people. Okay. So you meet an HNI, an high net worth individual, and you're like, I know there is no amount of shoe, bag, purse that I can buy for this person that he or she cannot afford. But perhaps maybe they just need someone that can be a role model to their child. They need a young person that their child can look up to. Or I run a business or a sports team, and I can invite their child to come play soccer with me, and then he gets to understand what it means to be an adult, a young adult, that's something you can offer.
That's value.
Yeah, that's value.
Yeah. So we need to sort of begin to look into ourselves and discover what value we can provide. Now, there are a lot of, when I said, you know, when I asked that question, thinking about what value we can provide, some people don't really feel like what they do is valuable to others. maybe they think that they are just another statistic. They're just another banker, they're just another teller, just another civil servant. You know, they don't really see what they do as valuable. I think that's sort of innate, maybe a cultural issue of trying to see yourself as humble and not arrogant. Do you think that's where the issue is?
Yeah, I think people think too little of themselves.
Okay.
We think too little of ourselves. We think that what we have or what we do not really matter, but it's a lie. It's an absolute lie. The guy that sells petrol can be the best friend of the bank manager if he calls the guy every time there's scarcity and say, "Oh, that fuel deal, make I keep for you." You would realize that he's just a dropout, a school dropout that sells petrol, but him and that person possibly at the top of his career are good friends now because you're supplying something. I think people need to look beyond what I even do into who I am, what kind of a person I am. Are there things around me that other people are struggling for that I can effortlessly do? How can I offer that to them and then build relationships from there?
And building that relationship is now a delicate process, especially in a place like Nigeria,
Definitely.
where I feel like people are wary of offering services or doing good because they've been burnt a few times before.
Yes.
Or they've provided a service and not been received value in reciprocity. I'm thinking about, you know, the average person who maybe, you mentioned someone who cleans your car and doesn't get the tip. And eventually just decides not to do it anymore. So where do we go from there? You've been providing a service, you've been doing what you can to establish this connection, and it hasn't been working. What do we do next?
Two things. You can continue to do it and not expect anything and just do it because that's who you are, right? Or you can choose not to do it anymore. And then look for someone else who values it. And this, let me add this. In the roadmap, the framework for building connections, you have to find a gap, then plug that gap, then bridge that gap. Right? Finding the gap is the most difficult thing. Perhaps maybe what that person wants from you is not washing car. Maybe what the person wants from you is maybe taking out the trash.
Wow.
You don't know. So you have to, every day as you try to build relationship with that person, study what they put up, study what they talk about the most. For knowledge people like us, for instance, anybody that is online that can take notes of everything I say and send me a PDF document and say, I was watching you and this is what you said, that person becomes valuable to me because you're putting my thoughts down on paper for me, right? So you have to find the gap, then plug it, and then continually do it. That's how you sustain those relationships.
So, finding the gap, find that space, find what value you can provide for someone else to establish that authentic connection. We have Gabriel Balogun in the building once again. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Hopefully you are sufficiently motivated this Monday to go ahead and provide value for someone else and establish an authentic connection. Speaking of establishing connections, I had a feeling you were hungry, so I'm trying to fill that gap now because I have a service I can provide based on the fact that we have a gourmet chef in the kitchen with Mary.
Nice.
So is this valuable to you?
Yeah, it is.
It is? All right, then let's head over to the kitchen.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yes, couldn't wait to dig into the food. We're just going to make this really fun. Please dig into the food.
Yes, dig in.
Chef Rudy made breakfast for us.
Yes.
Tell us what it is.
Okay, we have mango pasta and chicken breast.
Okay.
So chicken was marinated in black pepper and salt. Then our pasta base, we had roasted mangoes. We had rosemary, thyme, garlic,
nice.
and some seasoning.
Dig in.
Mango pasta. Interesting.
Mango pasta.
Yes, mango.
Not done.
So, cooked fruit is something that you have to have a particular skill for, and
So else you could
you could either overcook it or undercook it. So, what do you think?
It's actually nice.
actually very nice. When you had mango, it was like,
yeah.
It's actually very nice.
Thank you.
It's very nice.
Chicken? Let's see. What do you think?
It's savory.
Not what you were expecting?
He's savoring it.
What do you think?
Let's allow
But I think it's nice. It's soft. And you can feel the spice. I don't know what they are called actually.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I think that's the black pepper that he's talking about.
Yeah,
Black
I think
pepper.
it's really nice.
Well done, Chef. Great one. Thank you for coming. It's been a wonderful show.
It's been a marvelous Monday with Mike and Mary.
Yep, and the pink.
I thought of
the pink
Pantress.
the pink.
The pink, yeah. And of course, all our guests.
Everything wrapped in
on
pink
the show.
tastes better.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There was a shutdown. But this time it's going to be a night to remember. Lagos, are you ready? It's Ogwefi live in Lagos.